on-the-clock action, especially now that basketball's coming back. So we got a new segment with All the Smoke called What's Burning, where we're going to give you our fire takes, chop that shit up, and get it right to you. So here goes the first segment. Jack, what's good, bro? We back.
My brother.
NBA's around the corner. Today, CP3 to the Phoenix Suns. Thoughts?
As much as I love Devin Booker, I think I'm going to love him even more.
Book can lead the league in scoring with CP. And then what I really like about this trade is CP3 is going to turn Aiden into a potential all-star player. He's very skilled. I think he's actually a little bit more skilled than Capella and DeAndre Jordan. You saw what CP was able to do with both those guys. So he's already a 2010 guy. You put CP, the best creator in the game, next to him.
Still the smartest point guard in the game by far.
I think they may need one more piece.
They definitely got to fill that roster. We all know that. You know, they're going to have to give up a lot to get CP, but they're going to have to build that roster.
And it was hard to give up Kelly Oubre. Talented. I don't think people realize how talented Kelly Oubre is, but I think that deal doesn't happen without Kelly Oubre having to go the other way. So
shout out Jay Johnson, man. He's doing a job over there in Phoenix. He's trying to put it together.
Absolutely. I'm not mad at that. Something else that is hot on the press, Dennis Schröder, that they're talking like it's almost a done deal to the Lakers. What are your thoughts with Schröder to the Lakers?
Schröder brings a lot. He brings another playmaker, a shot maker, can create his own shot, and he's a dog, too.
That was the one thing with the twins being so close to Lil Chris. Me and Chris see each other a lot, and that was the one thing he said about Schröder. He said Schröder's an absolute dog in practice, in the games. Like, Chris loved playing with Schröder, so I think that kind of energy you bring to the point guard, let LeBron get off the ball. You saw how important playoff Rondo was, allowing LeBron to play off the ball. It made the game that much easier, for him. So I think Schröder's a huge pickup on both sides. But one person I really feel like that can help the Lakers is if they can get like a Tristan Thompson for the low. You know what I mean? To be that banger rebounder. He doesn't need touches. Great defensive player.
AD.
Yeah, AD can, chill out so he doesn't have to guard the top 4 or 5 on the other team. But I just think a guy doesn't need much, does his job, did well with LeBron already, that'll keep AD at the 4 and not having to go to the 5, which he wasn't want to do. So watch out for him. But I also heard, Ibaka's a hot name out there. Serge Ibaka's going to fill out one of these championship contenders.
And be a big role.
Big part. We were talking earlier about, Ibaka possibly going to the Nets. Let's jump to the Nets.
Let's jump to the Nets.
Because we're hearing James Harden has been talking to Kyrie and KD. What are your thoughts if he goes to the Nets?
I just envisioned.
Picture this.
Picture this. Nice. Picture this. Kyrie at the point. James at the 2. KD at the 3. Serge Ibaka at the 4.
DeAndre
Jordan at the center.
Ooh.
Wow.
We might have to go get a 10-day for that team. Yo,
wow. We can spot up and shoot threes still now.
Yeah, we can help you guys fight. We can play a little bit of defense, hit some threes.
Stevie Nash, we got your back, baby.
Hey, man, that would be a tough, like I said, I think Ibaka's going to be a key piece on a championship team. But that's the one thing, first of all, if James does go to the Nets, they're going to give up all their young talent. So they're going to have to give up Dinwiddie. They're going to have to give up Karis LeVert.
Yeah.
Probably Allen. That's why you got DeAndre there.
But that's going to be the biggest thing for a lot of teams. If they do all these trades, a lot of teams we going to see what organizations or what management is good at filling our rosters, because that's going to be big this season.
You got to think. Brooklyn already win it all in one time with the win now with the KG and Paul Pierce experiment. Obviously, these guys are much younger and in their primes. But, I mean, if you got a chance to get a James Harden, you got to do it.
You got to do it.
Steve Nash over there. You got D'Antoni over there now, too.
Yeah.
But the one thing that the Rockets have in their favor is they don't have to trade him.
Neither do they have to trade Russ either.
They don't have to trade Russ either. And seeing what we've been hearing, because we've been talking to, some people, some sources. I guess we're those kind of guys. Now we get sources. It wasn't the Paul Silas situation. Steve Silas. They support Steve Silas. What we were hearing was it was just the management and ownership not consulting with, especially James. James has been there. James put them on the map.
Right.
You know what I mean? So not consulting with your 2 stars on hiring the GM and the first GM leaving, it just kind of got messy because it sounds like James and Russ felt like they're kind of left out of the mix.
I've played 3, almost 4 years solid with San Antonio, and every move that was made from starting the lineup to trades, Tim Duncan was involved.
You have to.
You have to include your star players because they are the guys that you rely on the most. And we have to reiterate this. It's not because of Stephen Silas. We played with Stephen Silas. Everybody loves Stephen Silas. And everybody's happy he's finally getting his opportunity that he should have been got. But James and Russ are not happy with just not being a part of the decision making.
It's not moving right.
I guarantee you Bron is a part of everything that goes on.
No question.
You know what I mean? So why not James?
So James possibly, we're hearing James possibly to Brooklyn, but we're also hearing James possibly to the 76ers for Ben Simmons and a pick.
I like that for Philadelphia. I don't like that for Houston.
No.
I don't like that for Houston at all.
No.
You know, Houston
Especially
has.
If Russ has to stay, and that's neither of their strong suits. I don't think that's a good move. I mean, as much as I love Ben Simmons, where I do like Ben Simmons at, and we heard about this earlier.
Golden State.
Can you imagine Ben Simmons to Golden State?
What's starting five? Name that starting five.
Steph. Clay,
Clickety Clay,
Wiggins.
Wiggins wouldn't be there. He'll go on that trade.
Oh yeah, the Wiggins and probably what Pascal's
the
his
pick,
name.
the pick,
and the pick.
Yeah,
will go. So you're right. So it would be Steph, Clay, find a three, Draymond, and Ben Simmons.
I don't think Pascal will be in that trade. I think they can keep him.
I like him.
I like him too.
They found a hidden gem with everyone getting hurt. He's a dog. What do you go to Villanova?
Dog.
4-year player at Villanova, I think.
But okay, so let's follow.
But Ben Simmons to Golden State is.
Hold on.
Love it.
Greek freak to Golden State.
Greek freak to Golden State. The Warriors are gonna have another dynasty.
But you can't just say that with Braun and AD, and they might add DeMar DeRozan and KD and James. Like, it's a lot going on,
it's
bro.
Gonna be dope.
I love it.
But I like if Greek freak can go to Golden State, I'm giving Golden State their first three-peat, I think.
I think so. I mean, I got them as front runners as well. I mean, I got them as definitely front runners coming out the West, and the East. If they can add that James to Brooklyn,
that's gonna be scary.
It's hard to count them out, bro.
James to Brooklyn. Is
Kyrie,
scary.
just Kyrie with that, it's scary.
And then Westbrook, someone who kind of gets overlooked and disrespected for some reason.
Because they don't know basketball. Everybody that loves the game of basketball, played the game of basketball, studied the game of basketball, lived the game of basketball, breathed the game of basketball, understand how important Russell Westbrook is, just as important Oscar Robertson was. And they're very similar. Look at the records, look at their stats. They're similar. If you're going to give Oscar Robertson his props, then give Russ his props. He's just in a different era, and Russ is doing just as much as he was doing.
Russ is a dog. The one thing you hear about Russ is you can't win with him, though. That's the one knock when I hear people talking on TV about it, and you hear the casual fan obviously not understanding how talented he is and what he brings to the table. At the same time, people say you can't win with him.
Well, I guess that's going to be the knock of every player that hasn't won a championship. So I guess they couldn't win with Charles Barkley. I guess they couldn't win with Karl Malone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they stop that. If you don't know the game, sit down. Let the experts talk about it.
So we're hearing Russ to a couple of different places. We were hearing the Clippers early on. I think that's kind of died out. But of late, we've heard Russ to New Orleans, Russ to Detroit, Russ to the Knicks.
No.
If anyone goes to the Knicks and you're a star, you got to have someone else going with you.
Ain't enough
or
there. Don't do it.
You're just gonna die. Your career's gonna.
Unless they plan on signing Melo back,
fade to black,
and bringing Melo back with.
They're gonna need more. They're gonna need more than that.
But I'm just saying, it's gonna have to be something.
And it was crazy. I was talking to CP3 this weekend at the Twins' birthday party. He was talking about potentially going to the Knicks. Obviously, before he got signed today to Phoenix. But he's like, bro, if I'm gonna go to the Knicks, I want the Knicks experience. I want to play in front of Madison Square Garden fans. I want that energy that everyone goes to because
the Mecca.
Outside of that, what is it?
Right.
I mean, what is it? You know what I mean? So I felt that. So for Russ to
it's not the same as spiking it out on the sideline.
No, for Russ to go to the Knicks, Russ, you got to take somebody with you, and you need some fans back. And then you hear Detroit.
I like Detroit for the simple fact that he got tools that he's going to have to give up Blake probably. They are right over there, especially in the East, but I would rather him stay West, bro, because the other teams, he's going to be in a position like Melo. They're going to put you in positions where you're on teams that's drowning, teams that's badly trying to make playoffs, and is making it look like you can't play anymore. Then it just push you out the league. They've done it to so many players. I don't want that for Russ.
So last place we're hearing is New Orleans. I don't know how well he fits in there. With the Brandon Ingram, who needs the ball in his hand a lot, probably Zoe would be in that trade. You got a Zion out there. I don't know if that's a good fit for him. I think he needs more shooting around him, and they don't particularly have very much shooting outside of JJ and guys that are coming off the bench. So
New Orleans building from the ground up. You're doing a great job of building from the ground up.
You'll
be good. Right. Don't rush the process. 3 more years, you'll be great.
Blake Griffin. I think Blake Griffin can end up moving at some point this season to just a good team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Blake is he's kind of went to Detroit and almost been forgot about. But, I got some really good years with him and with the Clippers, and understanding how talented he still really is, and he's starting to get healthy again. I wouldn't be surprised if Blake goes to someone right before the trade deadline.
How you like Blake
season.
like home in Clippers right now?
I would love it. And quiet as kept. Now the CP's in Phoenix. CP wanted to come back to the Clippers.
I know.
He was talking to people
That's
over there.
That.
He got T.
Blake
Lewis,
back
his
here
guy.
with Kawhi and Paul.
Chauncey is there. CP was leaning towards the Clippers, but I guess they didn't want to pull that trigger. But seeing Blake back there, or seeing Blake go to Phoenix somehow.
What about Blake going to Golden State?
What about Blake going to Golden State?
That's
What's going to make this season. The season's going to be crazy, man, because there's so much. And that's what continues to make the NBA elevate, is because it's almost like a reality show in the offseason.
Unpredictable.
Who's going where? There's news every day, big trades, guys are teaming up, people are getting fired. The shit is crazy.
Shit is crazy, but I'm enjoying it.
I can't wait, man. If we get to see James in Brooklyn, if we get to see DeMar in LA, what's Phoenix going to do with CP, Aiden, and Booker, and hopefully one more piece?